Mary J and Little Kim, I Can Love You. What is in the name? Almost everything. There seems to be an argument about what is going on in America. What happened on January 6th, depending on who's telling you the story, will either be an insurrection or a civil argument. It depends on what side of the coin you decide to see as valid. Either we're going to be a country where we see truth and consistency, or we are not. The bottom line is America has always had domestic terrorism. Always. It has always existed, but there has always been this attempt to draw this moral equivalency. The only reason the Panthers existed is because for decades, there were people who would try to murder them, brutalize them, to vandalize them, and they did it oftentimes in the color of law. And what men and women did was decided they would offer some resistance, and that was the Black Panthers. But they always tried to be this moral equivalence. The Klan never gave America free breakfast. It never tried to teach America how to read. It never tried to open daycare centers. It only did one thing. It sought to terrorize. But yet, the Klan exists and the Panthers do not. Black Lives Matter only exists as a result of what has happened to them, as a result of people constantly being brutalized and nobody being brought to account. This moral equivalency continues now when people look at what happened on January 6th and try to equate it to what happened over the course of the summer. Over the course of the summer, America and the world watched a man whose life was taken from him in full view of everyone by the color of authority, a man, Derek Chauvin, who was a police officer. He snuffed his life out for 9 minutes. It was truthful. We watched it and the world reacted to it. January 6th was a bunch of domestic terrorists who decided they were going to try to overturn the lawfully held election. They decided they were going to try to murder and destroy and intimidate and use the fear tactics they've always had. There's no moral equivalency. One is a fight for life, and one is a fight for a way of life. And that way of life is to take the rights of other people. It's to do the things they've always done. Isn't it interesting, up until 2018, 2019, people in the Justice Department wouldn't even utter the words domestic terrorism, but oftentimes those people got angry when people wouldn't say Muslim extremists. The biggest terrorist organization in America is and has always been domestic terrorism. Now you can call it domestic terrorism, but it always has been here. I don't care if you call it Night Riders or the Klan or any other group of people who have sought to do the same thing they did on the 6th, only they did it in full view. And the thing about it is, people always try to rationalize it and justify it and do this equivalency where they're the same. What is the same? Never once during the course of the summer did the Vice President of the United States and his family had to run and hide, not to be seen to this day. Never once did a police officer get beat to death and beaten by other police officers and members of the military. Never once did the Capitol of the United States be breached. Never once. One was a cry for justice. One was a cry for the perpetuation of injustice. There was a group of people who decided they wanted to be heard. There was another group of people who decided they had been heard, but they didn't like the answer. These things have always existed. What is in the name is how we decide to go forward as a nation. Domestic terrorism has always been here. You used to glorify it. Matter of fact, you have statues to it. I guarantee you, many of you laud its platitudes. You've availed yourself to its advantages. But the bottom line in America is what has gone on the 6th has always gone on. Only this time we had it on Snapchat. We had it in full view. We had it on social media. We have to decide, is this the end of the way that we've always been or a new beginning? I said this before a long time ago. ISIS doesn't have or never has had what us has had in America. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.